I hope you guys like and subscribe to our channel.
Hey and welcome, this is Adam with AG4 VR, and today we're going to be installing a FUS Mod List for Skyrim VR. Specifically, it's going to be a version 4 mod list, and a lot of this will probably apply to the version 5. I haven't, version 5 is in the works, and everything I've heard about it so far, I don't think there's going to be a lot of changes between how you install a version 4 and a version 5. Not like it was with the differences between version 3 and version 4. So a lot of people have seen the Virtual Panda video, which I must say is a very, very well made video. The only problem I have with it, and people have been having problems with it, is because it's outdated. Even though it really wasn't made that long ago, it was made during the time of the version 3 mod list, which wasn't that long ago, admittedly. The problem is that in version 3 we still used ENBs, and in version 4 we don't use ENBs. So the instructions in the Virtual Panda video includes instructions on setting up the ENBs, and it confuses a lot of people. So I'm doing this video to basically it's going to be a step-by-step process on how to get this installed, and without the old stuff in there to confuse people. So I'm going to be as thorough as I can be without boring you guys too much. But I want to try to include everything in there, and hopefully this will be useful to you. Yeah, so and if you don't mind, please leave comments down below. You know, if you like the video, hit like, subscribe, love all that stuff. And also I want to mention that we have a it's not run by me, but I'm one of the community managers for it. We have a FUS Discord community that's got some very good, very helpful people there. If you have issues with getting it installed, or performance issues, or you're having weird glitches on the screen, anything like that, just come by there. We have a support forum where you can open support tickets, and you know, you don't have to worry about getting lost in a whole bunch of different messages on a channel. You can go that way, and we do a pretty good job of trying to make sure everybody gets helped right there. We also have a support channel, and you're welcome to post there as well. A general area for general questions on gameplay or whatever the case might be, and all kinds of stuff. If you get into the realm of adding your own mods, we have an unsupported channel that don't let the unsupported name scare you. There are a lot of people there that that's the main thing they do is add unsupported mods and test and try out things, and they love to help each other there. In fact, I would bet that channel is probably one of the most active on our whole Discord. But anyway, let's get to it. All right, so this is where we start. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the official README for FUS, which that's the web address for it, and I'll leave a link to it in the video notes. So first thing on this list, you'll see install Microsoft Visual C++ redistributable package. You may already have this, but like it says, better to be safe than sorry. You got a direct link here. If you click it, it starts downloading. It just go through the instructions. It's basically click next all the way through it till it's done. Alright, so next, install .NET version 8.0. All you have to do is click the link, go straight to it, and you're going to want the run desktop apps version. So more than likely nowadays most people are running 64-bit Windows, so that's probably the one you want to get. They also have x86, you know, etc. Alright, so I'm going to back up, go back here. Yeah, it says 64-bit on here, so those are the ones you want to get. Alright, now, Steam config. First of all, I'm going to read this verbatim. First of all, we recommend not using any super sampling, neither in Steam Oculus nor in-game. Set the render resolution to 100% or 1.0 in Oculus. Everywhere in Steam VR, remember to definitely check both the global video settings as well as the game-specific settings so they are at 100%. This is very important because the game is meant to be run a certain way. You can increase those. There's ways that you can increase it later, but when you're just starting out, trying to get the thing going off the ground, you want everything just to be at defaults. 100% is generally perfect unless you have hardware that generally you have issues with, but performance issues. But you know, that's where you get into a case of you know, I hate to say it, but sometimes there are certain video cards that are not. They're not made for VR. Most of the I'm not as familiar with the AMD cards as I used to be because I've been on Nvidia for a while. And my last AMD card was an RX 580. But so I can't speak to the AMDs. There's probably others that have more experience that can do that. But as far as the NVIDIA cards go, and desktop cards in particular, if you have one that ends with a 50, they're great desktop gaming cards. Not so much for VR. They used to not even be capable of VR, but the last, I think the 3000 series, 4000 series, I think they're now capable of running VR, but they don't do it very well. So just be mindful of that. If you have one of those cards, if you have like a 4050 or a 3050, you may have some issues. And you know, if you have a 2060, you may have issues, performance issues. 3060 seems to be a little better, but I have, especially the ones that have a higher amount of VRAM. But yeah, your 50s and your 60s, they are excellent desktop gaming cards. 1080p. Sometimes you can do 4K on the desktop, but for VR, it's they're sometimes they're not up to the task. A lot of times they're not up to the task. Just be aware of that. Okay, so yeah, you'll see. If you come to the Discord and complain about performance, we will find out you did. So we find out you did use more than 100% render resolution. We will shame you. We're not that mean, but yeah, if you did that, shame on you. Um, okay, disable the Steam overlay can cause issues with EMB. Yeah, it says cause issues with EMB. This README is a little outdated too, so just forget about the EMB part. And I would generally say, don't worry about the Steam overlay. I have never had an issue with this, and I don't recall seeing anybody lately having an issue with that. So, yeah, we're gonna skip over that part. I think that's been deprecated. I think. Almost forgot this. Very important. Very important. Um, Very important. Do not install Skyrim VR in a Steam library that is under program files. If it's under a program files folder or program files x86, you're going to have problems. The reason why is because Windows protects files in those folders. It's part of the integrity and protecting against viruses and stuff like that. You need to have Skyrim VR in a folder that's outside of program files. So this tool is very handy if you only have one hard drive, and it's the C drive. So we're gonna click this tool. All right, download this tool from the releases page. All right, so we're gonna go there. Steam Library Setup Tool. This thing is awesome. This thing is awesome. So I'm gonna download it, and I'll show you what it does. Alright, and it'll say that. Run anyway. Alright, so this is actually showing all the Steam libraries that I have on my PC. You might notice that I have 2 on my C drive. That's because Steam, by default, when you install it, will install in a program files folder, and it will make a library up under it. So all you have to do is go down here, click add row, and then put in C colon whatever you want. You can make a Skyrim VR folder if you want to. Whatever you want to do. Steam games. Make it that if you want. Click accept. And then, boom, you got another library on your C drive that is not under program files. I'm going to hit cancel because, yeah, I don't want to do that on mine. I've already got mine set up, but that's basically how you do it. So after you do that, I'll show you because I'm on. So I got Steam library there, and then just you got a Steam apps folder in common. I just ended up for mine. I set mine up to where my D drive here is pretty much it's mostly used exclusively for Skyrim VR. So I didn't run into any of those problems, and I'm not really sure why I set up a separate. I think I was originally going to set up Skyrim VR under the C drive because my last Windows installation I had it that way. But I ended up doing it this way, and it ended up being a lot neater. So if you have more than one hard drive, particularly SSDs or NVMe drives, it might be easier for you to set up Skyrim VR and FUS on another drive. Set the game language to English. This is very important. Very important. This mod list is designed to only run on an English version of Skyrim VR. I know there's a lot of international users out there. And for what I hear, there are ways of getting other languages into the FUS version of Skyrim VR. And I don't know a lot about that. You're welcome to come by the FUS Discord, and in particular go into the unsupported channel, and there are people there that can probably help you with that. I won't be able to give you much advice on that, but you're more than welcome to come and check that out. I know for some people that's a big issue, and there are people that it appears to me that have overcome that. So, yeah, you're welcome to come and do that. All right, clean Skyrim. All right, so we're going to do this right here on the video. You can skip this step if you did not install Skyrim VR yet. All right, so this is if you already have Skyrim VR installed, especially if you have already tried modding it. The reason why is there are probably mods left over in that Skyrim VR folder. So let's go over here. I don't know why that says open Steam. I think it's supposed to say open Steam. Right click on Skyrim VR, properties, local files, browse. While leaving the window open, uninstall the game through Steam. Delete all leftover content in the folder. Do not reinstall yet. Open Windows search and copy, paste. Actually, I'm not going to do that because I'm going to have to sit here and wait for it to reinstall. I know my copy is clean because I've been using it. Because the FUS installation really does nothing to the Skyrim VR install folder in Steam. The way FUS is set up, it has its own install folder, and it only puts files into the Steam VR folder or into the Skyrim VR folder while the game is running. Once you exit the game and you exit properly, it removes the files and you're back to a clean installation, which is great if you use other mod lists like Ariel's Dream that are designed to work the same way. It gives you the ability to run multiple mod lists off of that same installation and not have to get too crazy with it. It's a very nice feature. So, yeah, we'll go through the steps though. So what they're saying is that go to your let's do this. Go to your let's do this. All right, so here's my Steam. Find Skyrim VR. Yeah, I always forget it's under Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim VR. All right, so find it, click it, right click. Go down to Manage, Browse Local Files. Click that and it'll open the window. You can also get to it by going to Properties. It opens this window, and then you can click Installed Files, and you can click Browse. That takes you there too. Both do the exact same thing. So click that, boom, there's your Skyrim VR install folder. So basically what it's saying is you can delete the whole folder. And that's not going to hurt anything because the next step is going to fix that. So let's pretend like I deleted that whole folder. And I'm going to close it. And then you just right click, Properties, Installed Files, and Verify Integrity of Game Files. Alright, so we'll just do this real quick. Alright, so it's scanning through there. So what happens if you delete all your game files? This is going to come back for mine, and it's going to say everything's been verified and no files need to be downloaded. If you delete the folder, it'll download the files all over again, brand new, with nothing extra, nothing that's not supposed to be there. So that's definitely what you want. You want to install a Skyrim VR that has none of that. All right. All right, 566 files successfully validated. So you would normally see 566 files have failed validation, downloading 566 files, and it'll sit there and download all that. So, all right, so let's say we did all that. Delete this. Yeah, we did that. All right, so navigate to your documents folder. So we'll do that real quick. Let's see, what was that? Documents, my games. All right, so go to documents, my games, and then you'll find Skyrim VR, and you'll right click and delete that. But I'm not going to do that here. All right, now install. Okay, well, it says, I think basically the point was to completely uninstall Skyrim VR in that last step. What I just did pretty much skips all that, so it basically does the same thing. Yeah, so let it install. All right, this step is very important. You don't want to skip this. Start the game one time before you try to install FUS or anything. It needs one time for you to basically start the game and get it all the way to the main menu, and then exit. And once you do that, Wabbajack should have no trouble finding the install folder. All right, so all right, now you start Skyrim. So start at one time. This is a very important step. Make sure you start at one time and get it all the way to the main menu of the game, and then exit. Once you do that, that gives Wabbajack the ability to find Skyrim VR. If you don't do this step, when you start Wabbajack and you start to try to load to install FUS from there, it's going to say it can't find Skyrim VR. So if you get that error, more than likely it's because you skipped that step. All right, so next, grab the latest release of Wabbajack from here. All right, so we're gonna download Wabbajack. It's got a 1 in there because I've already downloaded it once in my downloads folder. Showing folder, that's what I'm trying to find. Okay, now I'm going to cut this. Let's go to I want to keep that folder, so I'm going to make a new Wabbajack folder. I've got other Wabbajack files in there for other mod lists, other versions of FUS and stuff like that I don't want to lose. So I want to keep that folder. So on whatever drive, and I recommend keeping everything on the same drive. Except for, I think the only one you don't want to do is the FUS. The only one that you would be fine with installing on a different drive is your FUS downloads folder. But your FUS install folder, your Wabbajack folder, Skyrim VR, it's best if all those are on the same folder. So I'll show you. Steam VR, Skyrim VR is in here. Yeah. So all that is on the same drive. So I'm going to paste that Wabbajack file, probably doesn't matter, but I'm gonna take that one off of there. All right, and then run it. All right, so it's getting the latest version updates and everything. All right, now from here, browse mod lists. All right, and you'll see. I don't know how it ranks all this, but I mean this is all the mod lists for like every game they have. FUS is near the top. You can, I mean, you know, if you want to, you can actually break it down to you know, if you got flat screen, you know, Skyrim VR, Skyrim Special Edition, they got mod lists for that in here. You know, but they got tons of them. But we're doing Skyrim VR. And there it is, right there at the top. So, all right. So to get this started, you want to download the mod list. So what this is going to do is this is going to reach out to where there's a FUS.Wabbajack file. It's literally named that. I'm not sure if this is reaching out to the GitHub that has that or where it's grabbing it from. There's a GitHub page that has the file on it. They have those files for every version that's been released. So you can actually go back, as long as the files are still available out there that correspond to that mod list, you could actually go back and install a previous version. I'm not sure if it still works, but if you wanted to play around with the ENBs, you could actually go back and install a version 3 mod list. I think you have to get one of the last versions. I feel like it might have been 3.21 or something like that, to be able to do that. But we're going to get the latest. The latest one is version 4.1.19. And you'll see the download sizes here. So this is stuff that you need to be mindful of. Make sure you have a drive that can support all this. So we're gonna, you know, you can do all this other stuff, but the main thing you want to do here is download mod list. So click the down arrow to do that. All right, so it just finished, and you'll know it's finished because the down arrow turns into like a play button. All right, so that's to download the mod list. So if you click that, you get taken to the README that we've been going through. Is right here, and all right. So here is install configuration for FUS. All right, so best thing for you to do, whatever drive you've picked to install FUS, mod list installation location. This is where all the working files for FUS are going to be. This is the folder they're going to be installed into. The best thing for you to do is whatever the root drive, whether it be C, D, E, F, whatever that you pick to put that in, just make a folder that's named FUS, just like that. All right, so I'm gonna make a FUS downloads folder. I'm gonna make a FUS downloads folder right there. Yeah. All right. So, so that's all you have to do. So, excuse me. Yeah, it's springtime and my sinuses are kind of clogged up. So you probably, if I sound a little nasally, that's why. Uh, yeah, so make sure you want to set up a FUS folder. All right, and a FUS downloads folder. All right, so this is going to be the install folder, and then we are going to select the FUS downloads folder. All right, so now we have our folder location set up. So just remember, mod list installation location, that's where you're going to install your working FUS files. Resource download location, that's where you're going to download all your files that they're going to be coming in from, mostly from Nexus. Downloading into that folder, they basically come here first and then they get installed in the mod list installation location. So we're going to do that, and I gotta check something here. Okay, it looks like I'm still logged into Nexus mods. So I will say this, I don't think you're going to be able to do this process without a Nexus mods account. You don't have to have a paid account, but I will say this, you will very likely, this process will drive you crazy if you don't have a paid account. And I'll be honest with you, I'm in America, and if you couldn't tell by my accent, and for it's a foreign account. I can't remember where Nexus is based out of, but I usually have to use PayPal to pay my monthly membership. And oh, you know what? I think it might be Britain, because I think it's in British pounds. But it ends up being like $5.99 a month or something like that. And for me, as much as I work with this stuff, it's well worth it. Because what happens is, if you don't have the paid membership, you have to download. You have to initiate the downloads individually, one by one, and there's like hundreds of these. So you're going to be sitting at your computer all day long doing this. Whereas if you have the paid subscription, you just enter your, basically right here. If you haven't set up your account with Wabbajack, you would go up here and hit login, and then it would pop up a little window. If you're having problems when you click login and you're having problems getting that to work, make sure you have Windows Edge installed. They just, I think in the last year or so, made it possible for you to uninstall Edge. I think it was one of those, probably one of those EU rulings or something that made them, kind of like how they used to have to make it where you could uninstall media player and stuff like that, like avoiding the anti-competitive stuff. Yeah, so if you have uninstalled Edge, you might want to get it back, because you're going to need it for this. Alright, and then this other stuff you don't need to worry about. Mainly just log into Nexus. We're going to go back, and I think it triggers. You'll see this page pop up a good bit, but we only need like one of them. The one that I started out with. All right, installation has finished. So when you get to this point, all you got to do is hit the close button. I just want to say real quick, if you start getting errors, okay, let's say it's downloading stuff and everything seems to be going good, and then all of a sudden you start getting errors that say fail to download this, fail to download that, and you just start getting nothing but those, and then the installation pretty much stops and says that it can't complete. Exit Wabbajack and go back into it, try it again. If that doesn't work, go up to your little gear up here, log out of Nexus, and then log in again. You may have to put you probably have to put your login credentials back in. We've been seeing very often lately that has been happening a lot. I think they might have patched that. I'm not sure, but if you have that happen, definitely do that. All right, so wait a minute. Yeah, I think I just confused it. All right, I'm gonna close this out. Yeah. All right, so it's finished. Just pretend like I had to hit close right there. I guess because I went to the gear and came back out. I didn't want to go back to the screen that I was on. I wanted to act like it was installing again. But anyway, yes, so that's how far we've gotten with that so far. So everything's installed now. All right, so next thing you want to do is find your FUS install folder. Go into it. Find the mod organizer file. This is what I like to do. Right click on it. Okay, this is Windows 11, so you have to do this like properties. No, well, you have to do this show more options and then send to desktop, create shortcut. I'm creating a shortcut on my desktop so I can start this anytime I want to. So there's my shortcut. Rename it. I'm gonna name it FUS. Let's see. FUS. Alright. So this is the mod organizer shortcut that we were just at. There. Open it up. You'll see the FUS splash screen. Alright, and we'll just go full screen with it so we can look at it real good. Okay, so by default, it usually lands on the profile FUS Roda. FUS Roda is the most feature-filled general preset that FUS ships with. There is one more called Kanger. Kanger is one of the devs of FUS, and this is basically his personalized mod list. Basically, he can install FUS and put it on this profile, and it is set up exactly the way that he would play. The exact settings, everything. Yeah. So. All right. So FUS Roda. So there's differences in the different presets. I won't go into Kanger so much, but I would imagine Kanger probably. I personally haven't tried playing the Kanger profile. because I'm a little particular. I tend to like the FUS Row preset, but I'm thinking about giving FUS Row Da a try when version 5 comes out. But I tend to like the Skyrim VR vanilla gameplay experience. So I do FUS Row. So that's got the basic, which is the like the mods that fix bugs and correct things and all that good stuff. Plus appearance. Appearance is going to be your graphical enhancement mods. Just makes everything look prettier. And then FUS Roda has the gameplay, so there's gameplay changes. And there's a lot of people that like FUS Roda, so don't let me steer you away from that one. There's a lot of people that really enjoy that one. I think that more than likely and this is why I'm going to give it a try when FUS version 5 comes out. More than likely, there's gameplay changes, probably increase immersion. So I'm trying to be open-minded about it. So yeah, we'll just continue with FUS Roda. Okay. So just some things to show you. There's we've got a open composite build that you can turn on to get some performance. It's been reported that you can gain up to 30% performance by using open composite. There is a guide on, let's see if I can find that guide. There's a guide on okay, here we go. All right, open composite with virtual desktop. Okay, just to give you some background on Open Composite. Open Composite used to be only used with Meta headsets, Oculus/Meta headsets, because they basically converted Steam VR calls to Oculus runtime calls. Not too long ago, I'm guessing maybe a couple months ago, Virtual Desktop came out with an update that supported OpenXR runtime, which is basically what Open Composite's doing. So Open Composite was tweaked to be able to support the OpenXR runtime on Virtual Desktop. So this is the instructions to get that working, right there. And I'll put a link to that in the instructions or in the notes for the video. So right here is where you can go to get that working. It's got all the instructions. You can set up, it's basically how to set up OpenXR runtime on any of the Steam VR, or you can do it with the Oculus. Oculus supports it right off the bat. So all you got to do is make sure it's set to be the OpenXR runtime by default. So all that's in here. So with all this said, the problem you're going to run into, we'll go back here. The problem you're going to run into is when you start a new game, because you're going to have to start a new game. You can't continue with a save that you had when you were running like regular unmodded Skyrim VR, or if you installed mods through Vortex or something like that, you're not going to be able to use those save games. They're going to be broken. They're gonna crash and burn horribly. I'll put it that way. You got to start a new game. Um, so you're gonna start a new game, and currently in FUS version 4, the starting area is the where you start at where you start out at the in the game. Can't talk. The place you start out at in the game is not where you start out in the unmodded Skyrim VR. You don't do the carriage ride and all that. That's probably going to change. From what I hear, that's very likely going to change in version 5. But for version 4, version 4 has an alternate starting area because the original deal was really bugged out with the mods that we run. So the starting area for Skyrim VR, the FUS Mod List, is called Realm of Lorkhan with version 4. And when you start your character, you have to use the Steam VR keyboard to enter your character name. Alright, and then you've got your control stabilizers. I'll be honest, I'm not really sure. I mean, you can just look at these and tell what is what. Low is recommended. That's usually what I set mine to. There's medium. Not sure what it does, just as optional mod. High says best for archers. I do a lot of archery, and low seems to work fine with my archery, so I think that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to pick that one, and we'll pick the open composite. Alright, now, upscaler options. DLSS. That one will get you that's the upscaler, the AI-driven upscaler mod by NVIDIA. You can turn that on and get a little bit of performance back. In my experience, I have not really had I haven't really gotten a huge upgrade in performance from that. And I'm running a 3070 Ti card, and I usually run with DLAA on. DLAA just upscales from the resolution that your regular resolution, instead of lowering resolution and coming up to the resolution you're at. It starts off at the resolution you're at and upscales from there. DLAA is going to give you your best quality image with the FUS Mod List. So we're going to turn that on. Alright, and then you got your community shader add-ons. Community shaders is what replaced ENBs. Basically just enhances the look of everything. So we got grass lighting, grass collision, light limit fix. Parallax, just like it says there, high cost. That means it's going to cost you a lot of performance. I usually leave that off, but parallax is really cool. If you got a system that can handle parallax, you should try it. It does some really cool effects, particularly with roads and caves and. It does some weird stuff with mining nodes, though. Particularly when you finish mining them, it makes them look like they've just exploded and got frozen in place. I have encountered people that bothered, but it doesn't bother me. I think it's kind of cool looking. Maybe it breaks their immersion or something. But parallax I normally leave off because. I'm trying. I go for what runs the best on my system. I try to get everything out to the edge of, like, how running good, but also looking pretty. The best combination of that. So this is kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna leave parallax off. Reshades I leave on. Those just they enhance the look of the community shaders. So you can add some sharpness if you want to turn on sharper eye or VR vision. Both of those pretty much just add a cast sharpener. But if you're running virtual desktop, there's also a sharpening tool built into virtual desktop that you can utilize as well. I will say this one, that one I've tried turning on, and I get a pretty heavy performance hit by turning that one on. So this one here, you can try it if you've got a system that can run it. I highly recommend it because it's gorgeous. I love the bloom and everything. It looks really good, but it does hurt. So I'm leaving that off. All right, so some people like Dear Diary. I've never tried it myself, but you got some optional stuff here you can play around with. Minimal health bar, the different varieties of that, sneak eye present or not. You get the little dashes at the top of the screen that open up like an eye whenever people see you. You can turn that on or off with these. Then you got your different controller bindings, and because I tend to go toward unmodded Skyrim as far as gameplay and all that. I usually just do the control setup for that. So I just turn them all off, and if you have them all off, it does the regular Skyrim VR controller bindings, or whatever you set. And if you're running through Steam VR, you can set controller bindings through Steam VR. But these are just all your different ones, and I think there is there's a page that explains all these. Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Okay. Here we are. This is the controller bindings guide. Put a link to that too, but that's where you get to it. The different bindings. Yeah, so you got vanilla bindings. For general gameplay, note that touchpads not only work for VRIC using the Valve Index controllers, but also the Reverb G2. Yeah, so pay attention to that if you got a Valve Index or a Reverb G2. Yeah, you need to pay attention to this. All the information on what does what is in here. All right, but I normally just go with the how it comes out of the box. Yeah, you don't need to mess with VR FPS stabilizer. That's just built in. It's helps with performance of the game. Okay, all right. So I tend to like the original archery in Skyrim VR, and I don't know. It's maybe some might think it's cheating because you can pretty much just like clobber somebody with tons of arrows if you're really fast. Because the mod here is simple, realistic archery VR. It basically just makes you take arrows out of a virtual quiver and you know, and then it basically unloads your arrow. So it's not equipped. It unequips your arrow every time you shoot it. So you have to reach back, grab another one. I usually turn that off. So I turn that off there. Yeah, anything in here you can turn off if you don't like it. I also I don't like having to crouch, mostly because I have some back problems, and having to do that crouching over a long period of time, it hurts. So the other one that I turn off, and it's not it used to be in this section, but it's in another section now. Let me see if I can find it. Auto sneak and jump VR. That's the one you want to turn off if you want it to do the Skyrim VR unmodded way of doing it, which is where you just push downward on the right thumbstick, and then it just stays that way until you hit that again. So I'm gonna turn that off. All right, and then if you want, you can adjust the lux if you want things a little brighter than they are normally. I usually leave that alone. Oh yeah. One of my favorites, swearing mud crabs. I always turn that on. Basically, if you shoot them, if you you kill them, they'll elf bomb you, and it's pretty funny. So yeah, I like that on. You can mute the music. I think the Kanger profile might have that enabled. Mute the music. It's an immersion thing. If because if you were really in the world of Skyrim, obviously you wouldn't have music following you around. So yeah, if you want like ultra realism, yeah, mute the music. I suppose you could go in and just turn it off inside the game, but I think there's some music that still triggers. I'm thinking maybe the when you slay a dragon and absorb the dragon soul, I think it might still do that like grandiose music that it does. Not sure on that, but I think that's the reason why you need the mod. So yeah, you can check that to take all the music out. And then you got realistic AI detection. You can, I think in FUS row, I think none of those are checked, but yeah, that's checked in there. And you can enable some of the followers that are added through mods. Some of these are fan favorites, so you got your choice of any of those. A lot of people like Sophia. I've noticed that Inigo has a pretty big following. Hadn't heard much about Lucian. Let's see. Okay, Dindalod. Don't worry about happy little trees unless you're doing some unsupported modding. That's what we call it. If you're adding mods to the mod list that don't come with it, or taking mods out that you're not supposed to, that's stuff we don't support. So you can do it. You can do it all you want to. This is a fully customizable list, but just be aware of that. So these are only checked for Dindalod creation, so you don't need to mess with these at all if you're just running the mod list and just playing. Alright, now we've got Dindalod output low, mid, and high. Dindalod output is going to be there's a couple different things that Dindalod does. One of the things is for performance reasons, you can't run high resolution textures for the whole world of Skyrim. At some point, they have to be turned down. to low resolution textures. So Dynalod basically dictates how far away that is for immersion. If you have it set to low, it's going to be at a lower at a closer place to you. They would turn from high to low res textures, so you'll notice some things don't look quite as crisp as you would like if it's on low. If it's on mid is what it ships with, and I found mid to be very adequate. I've got no complaints about mid. High looks very nice. High also turns on 3D trees, 3D rendered trees. So low and mid have 2D rendered trees, and high has 3D rendered trees. So if you put it on high, you need to have a pretty fast system because it's gonna hurt. So I'm gonna leave it on mid, and let's see. And most everything else you don't touch. So that's everything. That's everything for all that. And so we're going to fire this up, and we're going to see if that little tweak that I made for the Open Composite INI file adds my name in there. That would be really nice. But if you don't want to do that, you can always fire up the game with just uncheck Open Composite. And yeah, make sure that's unchecked too. It probably won't do anything with that checked on, but yeah, just make sure those are unchecked, and then start the game up, and it should start up with Steam VR, and you'll be able to start your character and name it, and name your character and all that stuff. So, all right, let's give this a roll and see if we can make it work. Okay. Yeah, maybe it'll give me the option to change the name when yeah, maybe that's what it is. Okay, so I got the black box problem right off the bat. It's probably because I have DLA turned on already. So I'm gonna go over to my computer, make sure that you have the Skyrim VR window open, or of course you have it open. Make sure that you have it, you basically have it in focus, and hit the end key and turn off use TAA for periphery. Boom, it's gone. Okay, that happens. And put that away. Okay, so all right. So that black box is it's a little bug that happens with the mod that adds DLAA, DLSS, and DLSS, and so that's how you can solve it a lot of times, is to hit the end key on the desktop window, and you'll see a menu pop up, and you'll see use TAA in the periphery. If you uncheck that, a lot of times it'll make it go away. We seem to be having a big problem with FSR though. A lot of people that have AMD cards or GTX NVIDIA cards try to use FSR for the upscaling, and that black box is a showstopper for them no matter what they try. So it's not guaranteed, but try that and see what you can do. Alright, this guy, this will work. So I'm gonna hit grab for done, name the character, Okay, I'm assuming that it named the character, and I'm just going to adjust some settings here, because I like smooth transition. I like rotation speed to be a little bit faster, and I like this to be wand relative because it works much better when riding the horse. Alright. Yeah, there's another thing. I like to run with TAA off. It's not a good idea to adjust any of these others though. We have I files to do that, and I need to include that. So, in just a moment, I think I'm gonna jump out and I'm gonna do a short video on changing I files. See how this looks compared to other people. This looks pretty good. It's running good too. Alright, so you'll find that there are all kinds of good stuff here. Yeah, so, you know, if you're a if you do a lot of magic, you got starting spells here. Oh, it says I already know it. Drop. It says I already know that one too. Okay, alright, well. Yeah, I know, I'm a litter bug. Coin purse. Yeah, so you can start out with a little money. Alright, so you got classes here that you can be. And I'm just going to lightly touch on this because when 5.0 comes out, this whole thing, Realm of Lorkhan, is going to be optional. It's not going to be mandatory like it is right now. Archer. Yeah, we'll be an archer. Okay, so with archer, you get 10% extra damage with bows and recover 25% extra arrows. And then you got curses here too. And I'm just gonna throw this out there because some people like to cheat. These classes operate on shards. You have to have enough shards to activate a class. There's a little cheat where you can actually go through and you can activate curses, and curses, when you activate them, give you shards. So you can activate a bunch of curses. Like, I'll show you. Alright, so I'm gaining 2 shards every time I do this. So we're gonna go over here, You do the same thing. Alright, that gave 1. Some of them give 1, some of them give 2. Alright, so I think that's all of them. I think that's all of them. Says I'm activating them, so I guess that's all of them now. Yeah, okay. So that's all of them. So I can actually, with all these shards, watch this. Alright, so that's the archer. Oh, look, I didn't even realize there's a really nice bow sitting there, too. Alright, so watch this. I can turn that on. I still have 12. I can turn that on. I can turn that on. Alright, so whereas before when I could only turn on one of them, I just turned on a bunch of them. Let's see if I can turn on any more. Okay, it says I have no more. So I just activated like I'm like what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 9, like 8 or 9 different classes I just turned on, and I just got all the perks for those. So let's take a look at all the perks that it just gave me. Yeah, look at this. Class Thief. I'm 30% harder to detect already. If I wear 2 pieces of heavy or light armor, health is fortified by 100. So I get all these perks, right? But I've still got I've got all these curses that I've turned on to get it, right? Well, check this out. All right, you can turn them off, and it puts you in the negative. Yeah, see, I'm like -3 shards. I can turn every one of these curses off, and I can make myself, yeah, see, I'm like -10 now, -11, -12, -4. Okay, I'm at -14 now. So so I've got all the perks and none of the curses, and that's all you got to do. That's only for the people out there that want to be super overpowered and cheat and all that stuff. Everybody else, pay no attention to it. The other thing you might notice in Realm of Lorkhan is standing stones. All the standing stones of the game are here. So you just need to find the one. To see, there's one right up there. Yep. Mage Stone. You learn magic skills 20% faster. I think the one I'm looking for is in here. Yeah, the Lover Stone. Lover Stone, all skills improve faster. I usually go with that one. Alright. Now, when you feel like you've gotten everything that you need to get in Realm of Lorkhan, let's see what we got. They have clothes here too, so if you want to get yourself, because your character's basically naked at this point. So oh, 22 gold. Necklace for smithing. I like to do smithing. There's some light armor. I'll take that. Light helmet. Okay, so I'm not naked anymore. Got foot wraps. Oh, I forgot. There's clothes in the inventory too. Alright, that's good enough. Alright, so when you are ready to leave Realm of Lorkhan, you've got all these shards. Well, I mean they're crystals that transport you anywhere you want to go, and there's crystals for just about every part of Skyrim here. All the major locations. Like you can go to Helgen right here. Red Wave, Whiterun. So, do we want to go to Helgen or go to Whiterun? Let's go to Helgen. Alright. So here we are. There's Helgen. Alright. And we're gonna head toward... You basically get there after the dragon attack, so you don't get to see any of that part. It's all done and over with by the time you end up here. Alright, so... Oh, okay. Oh, you want to be like that? Do your worst. Oh, this guy's got some good stuff. Alright. Well, at least his dog is nice. Oh.
Is someone there?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the mod that does this, but... Oh, and they left some money. Could always use that. And the world is rid of 2 jerks. Alright, there's Riverwood. And the reason why I'm going this way is because unmodded Skyrim pretty much has the same progression. There's Bleak Falls Barrow. But we're gonna go on to Whiterun. Yeah. Might be able to get my arrow back. Yay! Did. There's usually at least 2 wolves, so I'm expecting one to come sneak up on me somewhere, but we'll see. And there's Whiterun. And you can also see what I was talking about with the Dindalod. Low detail. Textures, rather. Oh, we get to kill a giant. This is such an amazing game. Amazing.
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about. Official business only. Fine. But we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Alright, we're gonna go see the Jarl. This is how you start the main quest. You have to go see the Jarl.
We'll pay whatever it takes. But we
And
must
just a
enforce
warning,
the soldiers.
Whiterun tends to have some performance issues, especially in the Bannered Bear. Yeah. It's just because of the mods. If you got a really fast system, you probably won't have any problem, but you know, anything lower, you know, don't be disappointed. I know this is a over a decade old game, but the mods have really updated it, and the game itself is not very well optimized. Yeah, see, check out, like, look at the lighting. That is amazing. It is gorgeous. You milk drinker! Alright, let's go talk to the Jarl.
Well, I trust you have something vitally important to tell me. Important enough to interrupt me in the middle of council? By Ismir, Irileth was right. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we continue to trust in the strength of our walls? Against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains.
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We should not...
Enough! I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment to Riverwood at once.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service. I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing you could do for me. Suitable for someone of your particular talents, perhaps. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Alright, so yeah, you that's how you start the main quest. The main quest for the game. Go see Farengar, do the next part of that, go to Bleak Falls Bear. Well, I would go by Riverwood and talk to the Riverwood trader guy. He's missing a claw piece. That claw piece is in Bleak Falls Barrow. You pretty much have no choice but to find it. But you'll get a quest reward for bringing that back to that guy too. So that's how you do it. So I'm gonna save here. I'm gonna save here, and I'm gonna show you guys how to copy in INI files for whichever one that you're trying to do. Okay, so if you want to change your INI files, and I'll show you what this is. Basically, for the INI files, they take the place of changing the settings within Skyrim for under the VR performance portion, where you get the detail settings and shadow details and low, medium, high, all that stuff. Basically, the INI files change everything to low, medium, or high for you, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's go over to for this. You have to go to the drive that you have FUS installed on, which in my case it's on my D drive, and then the FUS folder. And first we're going to go in and see where the INI files live at. So each of the profiles has its own INI files. So if you have to do anything with a specific profile, that's basically the path for it. So like for right now, let's say if you're looking for, you need to do something with save files for your particular profile. Each profile has save files loaded in here, and there they are. These are the auto saves that were automatically made as I was playing, and then this is the save file that I made right before I quit the game. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to profiles. All right, so you can see these are the INI files, and they've got. We'll just edit one of them in Notepad. So you can see there's all kinds of different settings in here. These are settings that the FUS team, they've personally curated all this and set it up to where it works best for low or medium and for high. So we're going to close that. So we're going to go out to the main FUS folder, go under Tools, INI Options. So this is your path to get to where the INIs are, and then you've got low quality, medium quality, and high quality. The FUS Mod List defaults everything to medium. So if you want high on anything, you need to go into the high quality INI, the high quality INI folder. That's the path for it. And select the 3 files that are in there. So copy, don't cut, copy. Because you want to leave yourself a path backward, and you don't want to lose these. So yeah, just copy, and then you want to go back out to your main FUS folder, back to the profiles folder under FUS, and then find the profile that you're working with, whichever ones it is. In my case, it's FUS Roda, and you just copy them in there, or you paste them in there. So hit paste. It's going to ask you if you want to replace the files in this destination. You hit the check mark to do that, and now you have the high quality INI files. Now, I've decided that those run a little too high. I'm having performance issues. I need to go back. Alright, go back to your FUS folder. Go back to Tools. INI Options. Medium is where you started out. Let's say medium is too high. You can actually go low quality, and you can copy those files and put them in there. But I'm gonna put it back to medium, which is the default. So I'm going to copy these. Go back to the FUS folder, Profiles, FUS Roda, and paste. Replace the files in this destination. Yes. And we're done. I think it does reset some of the settings, like when you select smooth turning instead of snap turning and stuff like that. I think it resets all that when you do this. So you'll probably, when you get back in the game, you'll have to reset those up all over again. And hopefully you don't have to deal with the black box issue, but I showed you how to mitigate that. So but anyway, so I'm trying to think if there's anything else I haven't covered here. Yeah, I think I mentioned FSR is very problematic. Try it. If you can get it to work, good for you. A lot of people can't. So just keep that in mind. But you might get a performance increase off of that. But yeah, I hope that helped any one of you get FUS going. And yeah, if you liked the video, please like, subscribe. If you don't like the video, let me know why. Let me know if is there something I missed. I don't know, anything. Let me know. This is out. I'm putting this out here for you guys to try to help you. So hopefully it does. And I think I said earlier in the video, please, if you guys have issues with your FUS install, or gameplay tips or anything, you're welcome to come to our FUS, and it's actually a FUS and Ariel stream, because the same team works on both. It's the same Discord. Come by there and you know, you can chat with us, or if you got a problem, make a support ticket, or hit us up on FUS support, or you know, whatever. Hey, we're here for you. So yeah, please come visit us. We're actually on our way to we're approaching 10,000 active users, so probably won't be too much longer before we hit 10,000. But yeah, it's this thing's really grown, and I'm happy to be part of it. And I wanna send a shout out and thank you to Azria Shade and Kavite Vist, hope I pronounced that right, and Kanger, and Dewan, and Lax, and there's a whole bunch of you out there. Tell you what, I'm gonna pull up. Here, let's do this. This is it right here. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so you can see there's me, AG4 VR, Trolley Law, Habitat 91, Yuchi, or Yuki, I don't know how that's pronounced. Yeah, all these guys here. Just because I haven't mentioned you doesn't mean it doesn't mean I appreciate you any less, because I appreciate everybody that's involved with this thing. It's really something amazing. It's one of my places to go when I need to escape the real world and all the problems it has. It's nice to be able to go off to this land and be a hero, and sometimes I just like a good horseback ride across the country, and this is wonderful for that. Boiler, throw a shout out to you too. Boiler is somebody that I think doesn't get enough credit, because he's an MVP, but he is out there constantly working on modding his mod list and seeing what works and what doesn't and stuff. So I want to give a shout out to him too, like, for sure. Riverwood is Riverwood's somebody that Riverwood he gave me a shout out one time on his next page, and I really appreciate that. But Riverwood was making he was making an E&B that ended up being it's called the Enhancer, and it's one of the it was actually a recommended E&B before we switched from E&Bs to community shaders. But Riverwood's E&B was wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, I'll let you guys get back to it, and I hope you have a good rest of your day or evening or whatever time it is, wherever you're at. And we'll see you next time. And take care. Bye.